Oh, violence, just call me, I've answered before. I'd made many enemies and settled my scores. But came a cry from a man that I'd known, someone to whom rare compassion I'd shown. And so I opened up my door to the man who promised me blood and war. For I craved violence, I craved to be free from the people who wish to control me. Yes, I believe in anarchy's reign, and I know that dictators only bring pain. Oh, woe to thee, people of order. I hope your homes continue to smolder, and that you'll never rise again and leave me be and leave my friends.
Recap. Last week, you got out of the starry room, or the seashell room, which was a room full of stars, and Ash was missing. Riku was still there and perturbed by this, but Zaz was back, looking injured. Between healing and everything, you guys all healed up to full, but you were still tired and all drained. General Asku had told you to go back to the town and rest and relax and heal up. You handed over the notes that you had. Reese did damage the stone so that there would be proof of if the tower is self-healing or changing next time you go there. Once back in town, you went to the bar. Haven got drunk as fuck, then saw that Zahir was there, and a prank was played on Haven where you fell over and your pants fell down. Zahir was upset though and told you about losing a bracelet that she was given by her mother, and it was explained as a 22 beaded bracelet with obsidian and jade with a symbol in the center, a jade symbol of Gond. You agreed to help the next day and split up. Riku was nowhere to be found. The night before, Zaz went up with a hobgoblin to a bedroom. Haven went by themselves drunkenly after being helped upstairs. Ash found themselves in another plane of existence, and everybody else slept fine. You went searching for things, bought some stuff, traded some stuff, got some homework, and now we're here. All right, so it's probably about midday now as you've been traveling through the day, and Ash, you appear inside of a room that's not yours, and there is a orc man laying in the bed, completely naked and snoring very loudly, and the bed is disheveled. You do not know why you are here. You were not here moments ago.
My immediate reaction will be to let out a small yelp and launch myself out of the other side of the bed onto the floor, and probably backpedal like a crab just a little bit.
The orc wakes up and he's like, "The fuck? Who the fuck are you?"
Where am I? As I look around, do I have any idea where I am?
You're in Thirsty Fool.
Gotcha. Okay.
Just not your room.
I'll just kind of look around and say, sorry, did there happen to be a monkey-esque gentleman in here before?
Yes. He ditched me. Why are you here?
I'm not entirely sure this was not where I was expecting to get spat back out, so to speak. I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience. I'm gonna go. I'm really sorry for disturbing you.
Well, if you see that guy, hit him for me.
Of course.
For ghosting me or ditching me.
Sure, certainly, of course.
Didn't even wait for breakfast. That's rude.
Yes, very, very rude. I will try to gather myself and get out the door very, very quickly.
You go outside, and when you get out there, you look around and check your rooms and check downstairs, and nobody from your party is in the tavern.
Okay. I will go ahead and head out into the town. Just kind of look around if I can see any familiar faces.
Okay. Make an investigation or perception.
18.
After about 10 minutes of searching and walking around, you do find Haven and Reese stepping out of a bakery.
I will sort of jog up to the two of them and say, Haven, Reese, hi, hello, are you guys...
Ash!
I'm sorry.
And I'm just gonna start scanning you head to toe, leap on you if you're not looking particularly disheveled, hug the living shit out of you, and then just start patting you down, see if I can find any injuries.
I'm going to give you a huge, very, very fuzzy hug. And I am bleeding from a small wound in my shoulder.
What? What happened? Where did you go?
Long story, is Zaz back? Is he okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, when he got taken last time, it was supposed to be me who went. I can explain, I promise. Where is everyone else?
A few things went not sideways, but they're kind of helping me maybe get laid. So we got a bit distracted from the tower, and let me hang on. And I'm literally like koalaing you, so my arms around your neck, like checking everywhere else in case it's not just the shoulder, and like my legs are wrapped around you and my wings are just fucking wherever. So I'm like, okay, hang on a minute. And I will cast Cape of Courage, and you get healed for 1d4.
Cool. And I'd say thank you. I will explain. It would be nice though if the others are here because I think they should know too. But thank you.
Yeah, why don't we take a look around, see if we can find him.
Haven, I'll give you a piggyback ride if you're amenable.
Yay! I'm gonna swing round, piggyback, but then hook my wings around you like I did for myself, so like you're wearing the cape now.
Angeli and Zaz, you are leaving the jewelry store and you are walking back into the town. Make a perception check. Actually, everybody can make a perception check.
That is not good.
Mine was not good either.
+3, that's a 5.
I have a 5.
That's a 10.
Or 21.
I have my face buried in Ash's fur.
Gotcha. Is that that one?
No, it's a 3, but
Okay.
even with a +2, it's not going to be.
Angeli, as you are scanning, as you walk out of the jewelry store, you are walking through the market and you do catch sight of a concubine that's very familiar hovering over a ulfer nearby. So
You sure it's
found
not
the
more like a ulfer with wings?
rest. Sure. You see an ulfer with wings. That looks very familiar.
Point that out to Zaz.
Good to see that Ash is back. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's not even waste any time.
I think that might be Haven clinging to her.
Most likely. Those two are pretty much inseparable. As we're walking over, I'm going to ask Angeli, did you happen to find anything out in the tower, by the way? I know you were going and looking for answers, and no, I wasn't really with you, but did that help at all?
I found a little. I think maybe it might be more of a time thing, or situational, because I had a flash of something when we were in the first room when we first got in there. Still puzzling it through, though. Thank you for asking.
I'm very curious as to what happened to you, and I'd like to help you get to the bottom of it if possible.
I would like that too, thank you.
Let's try and keep informed, eh? And we'll go over.
All right. You all are back together again. Sans Riku.
Zaz, good sir, I have a quick question. Oh, Ash found us. Okay, I have a quick question. Reese was asking me some advice earlier, and I'm wondering, as a gentleman of the leisurely arts, perhaps you could give him a few tips on interpersonal physical contact.
Aren't you the expert on that, Haven?
I am more so with the womanly form, or the non-binary form. I am less so with the manly form.
Ah.
This is something that I know absolutely zero about, so in that regard, I must defer to my good colleague.
How red does your face turn, Reese?
I mean, he's very lucky that his skin is already red because his whole face is gone. He's trying to like look away as if he's just like not like as if he's like not there somehow.
Angeli's not particularly noticing. She's watching Haven on this one, because does it seem like Haven's actually being truthful on this?
I mean, you can roll a insight check versus their deception or persuasion.
Aha, an 18.
Well, I rolled a 4, so I'm not even going to add anything to it. But yeah, I know shit about men. Absolutely nothing. Never touched one if I can possibly help it. In that way.
Absolutely. It'd be my pleasure to show you some of the finer intricacies of the male figure. With other people, of course.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We just need to find another tavern, another bar. The Thirsty Fool is fun and all, but you don't play where you sleep, you don't sleep where you play.
Precisely, we can't frequent the same places too often, we'll get kicked out.
Exactly. Especially, you've seen how Haven rolls. But we'll get it all worked on.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be happy to.
Well, thank you.
Ash, what happened?
Should we go find a tavern and we can sit down and have a few pints while you tell us?
That sounds like a good idea. I think that would be wise.
And I will pull out this little pouch of jingly coins and kind of wave it around. It's like, that jewelry got us a little something. So, I guess drinks are on the jewelry.
Very nice. Most appreciated.
Actually, I need to go find a few things, if you don't mind. We should also be actually looking for the bracelet, I believe.
That's right.
I wanted to pick up a couple of things that might help us in the tower.
Okay, that's cool. In regards to looking for the bracelet, Haven doesn't care, but they're not letting go of Ash. The wings just clasp a little bit further down as well. It's like, no, I'm good here, thanks.
Julie seems a little lost in thought too, or at least I'm going to make an assumption on that. That she rolled an actual 18, so that was her second uncovered skill.
For which skill was that?
Insight.
Yep. You are now proficient in insight. That will be your last skill that you gain.
Yep.
If we do decide to go looking for this bracelet, which I won't ask just yet, before we do, Zaz, I owe you a sincere apology. I know that you were taken last time when we were in the tower, and that's partially my fault. In explanation of what happened, the short version of the story is I'm going to kind of like scuff one of my little toes in the dirt a little bit. I made a deal with Malar, the Beast Lord, and part of that has meant that I serve him when he calls on me, and I'll kind of tap the little holy symbol that's resting on my chest. Riku was meant as my replacement to be a stand-in while I was gone, but Zaz, you were taken by mistake, and for that I'm truly, truly sorry. I'm glad to see that you're all right.
I'll quietly ask what you made a deal for.
I had some help in the past. I'll tell you later. I'll say it very quietly.
Okay.
I appreciate the concern. Yeah, it was a hell of a time. It was strange, even whatever place it was in. I was still dealing with these folks in the Order. Really, really strange. And kind of like reached toward my chest and it's like, I didn't come out of it with no injuries, but I'm alive. And none of you guys died, so.
Glad you're well.
All's
And
well.
again, I am sorry.
How often does your god miss?
That is the first time that I have ever heard of it happening. I'm not aware that it could happen. And again, I'm terribly sorry. Hopefully it is not something that will be repeated.
Okay. And just like a little bit of relief comes over Zaz's face.
Maybe he does it on purpose. He is a chaotic evil god.
That's true. I was taken elsewhere as well, still fighting members of the Order, and I did, just because I know all of us have had encounters with them, I did for a moment see a face beneath one of their masks, which was a first for me.
What did they look like?
I don't remember all of the details. It was in the midst of combat, and I was a little preoccupied at the time. But I did see a green eye and very kind of neat, pale facial features, but nothing more than that than I could recall.
That must have been terrifying.
It was strange, certainly.
Well, I'm glad you're okay. Do you need more healing?
I'm quite all right, thank you.
Otherwise, we're gonna not let go, but throw something at anyone who's possibly able to heal. Like, you, come here.
All right, so are you heading to the tavern? Are you going to walk around the market with Angeli, or are you splitting the party?
I can catch up.
Well, technically, we wanted to go to the tavern for that story, so...
Fair. Tavern's out then.
Unless, Reese, did you want those lessons particularly soon?
No.
Are you sure?
No.
Because I can
sure.
give some tips, but honestly, Zaz is your guy.
It's really quite easy once you get the hang of it. Anytime is fine, but we can go now, we can go later.
And I'm sure Zaz will agree with me. Those little touches as well, just like, oh, darling, and put your hand on the shoulder, or just walking behind them, just put your hand in the small of the back as you go past and things, just to get them acclimatized to your physical presence.
Can't you two just practice while we go?
Perfect
Just
idea.
two of you.
Yeah. Like holding hands, maybe. Just something small.
Reese wants to curl up and just lie on the floor.
Noticing this, I'm just going to give Haven a small smile and wave my hand off, understanding kind of a little bit of what's going on here. It can wait at least till later. I'm sure we'll end up at a tavern if we don't go back to the tower tonight anyway.
As would you mind if we split up that money we just got?
Oh, absolutely. And I'll kind of parse out, I guess what would it be, 5 gold to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you. We didn't get any for the book because we traded for it instead because it had to be translated. The shop owner called Poem could translate our book but couldn't translate others, so instead of buying it, we traded, and when we bring the translations back, then she'll pay us. So we'll get a few gold for that, but nothing at the moment, sadly.
Doesn't it take months to translate a book?
Sometimes. But we speak them fluently, so...
We got homework. And Reese is kind of smiling, and you're not sure if it's about having, like, work to do or it's just because we've changed the subject.
A little bit of A, a little bit of B.
Angeli, again, is just kind of looking at both of them and kind of wondering whether or not they should be sent off to a bookstore together next time by themselves.
Looking at which two?
Haven and Reese.
Okay.
Because, love of books and all.
We did good on bookstores.
Yeah.
Wait, was that serious or was that sarcastic? I'm confused.
No, she's giving you guys a look, but that's what she's thinking, actually, yes.
Okay. Fair enough.
All right. So, Angeli, where do you want to go?
I need to find somebody that sells either components for traps or things like that. Other little bits and bobs she can probably pick up as they go along. She also asks, Haven and Zaz, you are from the city, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Would you happen to know where we could find somebody that deals in mechanical things? And I'm just pointing to the bag with the mecha dog in it. Maybe they could buy that for parts.
Good question. I know the blacksmith could probably use the stuff out of character. What would the roll be to know if we know, Nikki?
Investigation or history?
And sure, I'll roll history. I'll
Plus
try.
3. 15 for me.
Oh, it's actually +3. That's not bad. 13.
And you're looking for... Which part of it were you looking for? The components or the metal?
Someone to ditch the dog on.
There's got to be people that actually make these sort of things, because I've seen contraptions around.
You know of an artificer in town who is a devil named Del.
Del, D-E-L.
Mm-hmm.
While we're out, too, I just want to also keep an eye out for the vegetable stand that we last saw the bracelet at, or that Zahiri last saw the bracelet at.
While everyone is discussing the dog, I will very, very quietly, knowing how good Ash's ears are, mutter under my breath, have you eaten?
I assume at this point I would not have.
You were sent right into battle.
I'll kind of whisper back. No.
Pub it is.
We'll go off in the direction of the pub.
Not the Thirsty Fool.
Different one.
We will go to the Krusty Crack.
I'm not going back there right now.
You're going where?
We'll go to the Krusty Crack.
Okay. So, Del works in a place called the Cheap Phoenix, and it's a couple blocks away from where you guys are currently. Ash and Haven walk away towards whatever the fuck name you just said.
Krusty Crack.
The Krusty Crack, which is a terrible name.
Yeah, I would definitely, if Angeli asked and I knew that information, I would tell them about Dell. And if they want to go.
Well, if they're not too far away, we might as well stop there first and see if we can get everything unloaded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing this artificer.
Before we leave for the Krusty Crack, do you want to give them all of the shitty swords?
I'm gonna, I think I got 3. I'll hand those over to either Reese or Zaz.
I'll hold them. Or we just take them.
Yeah. Somebody will hold a sword.
Cool. Here, have a sword.
You
Oh.
get a sword. And
That's
you
what
get
he
a
said.
sword. Everybody gets a sword.
Ash and Angeli, each of you roll a d20, and that'll determine who goes first in the story.
That was a 16.
7.
Okay. Haven and Ash, you walk to the Krusty Crack, and you walk inside this very dirty, rundown bar that behind the bar stands a gray Ulfer with an eye patch over one eye, and he is washing the mugs that are still dirty, even though he's cleaning them. They have spots all over them because he's using a dirty rag to wash them. But the place is kind of empty. There's maybe 4 or 5 other people inside, all minding their own business in their own little corners.
As we walk in, I'll sort of unbury my head back from Ash's neck to where it had returned and go, Bobsy! Darling, it's been a while.
You know my name's not Bobsy. Bob. Get it right.
Darling. Could we have like 2 of your largest, 4 of your largest meals, please?
Preferably something that isn't moving anymore, or doesn't have things moving in it. Just kind of.
Well, now you're being picky, but fine.
If you give us a discount, I'll kill it myself.
Oh, that's a good deal.
He thinks for a moment. Okay.
Done. And 4 tankards, please.
All right, it'll be 2 silver. There's a pig out in the back. Have fun.
Sweet, thanks. You're cooking it though, right?
Sure.
Sweet.
We're not going to roleplay that out, but that happens, and you have a full roasted pig that magically got cooked really quickly because of magic. And you have tankards, so you have a roasted pig on your table with 2 full tankards each of very strong smelling ale that burns when it goes down.
I'm probably going to lay into the food because I am very hungry.
I'm going to wait until at least half the pig is gone. Calmly and, politely cutting up my side and eating it. Then say, what the hell, Ash? We've literally been to hell and back. How did I not know about this?
I'm sorry. I should have told you sooner. I didn't imagine that it would happen while we would be in the tower. And honestly, it's been a while since it did happen. I wasn't sure.
Happened before?
It has, but rare. And I can never predict when it's going to happen. So, do you remember that fight? The really bad one.
The one where we met, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think that I was going to make it out of that one. And I went into it with a number of people who I cared about and had fought with for quite some time and watched every single one of them be killed. And there was a moment there when I didn't have anything else left, and I thought that all of us, every single one of us was going to die. And I called out, not expecting an answer, but I got one. And I asked Malar to save my family. And in exchange, I promised that I would serve him when he needed it, when he called on me. And he agreed. But, well, all the ones I went into with the fight with died anyway. So, but I survived unexpectedly. So, I'm sorry that I didn't tell you sooner. I didn't.
But he didn't uphold his end of the bargain.
Insofar as I know, no.
Gods and their lies and their tricks. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
That same day, I thought I was going to die as well. There was swaths of people around me completely butchered in instants. I don't know how I did, but I was willing to die. I didn't call out to anyone on that occasion. There have been times before where no one answered, and on that occasion, nothing. Just silence as always. So I thought I'd die as well, and I was willing to because you saw it. There was nothing that we could do.
I remember.
Is there a way out of this for you?
I don't know. I haven't asked. Truthfully, I haven't had the courage to ask just yet. It's tenuous, approaching a god and asking for things.
Valid, yes, quite. Is he decent, as gods go?
A little on the chaotic side.
Good, there's something in his favour. Yeah,
True.
That's nice.
And he did have the courtesy to at least lend us Riku while I was gone, so that's something.
Yes, quite. I may have potentially pissed him off a little bit.
Well, he has potentially pissed me off a little bit. I did end up, I believe, re-entering this realm where he left off, which had me in bed next to a very large orc man, which is the closest that's ever going to come to happening.
Dear Lord.
Slightly alarming way to come back.
Ah, darling. Now, the thing is, if you want to get laid, there are far easier ways. I know it's been a while. I know. That's why I was helping you with the bugbear. If you need tips, it's not a problem. I was helping Reese. It's absolutely fine. We're family now. We've pulled each other out, literally out of hell. If you need help getting laid, or hell, I will take one for the team. It's not a problem. I can either get you a date, or I can happily, scratch the itch.
I'm gonna just...
Is it behind the ear?
Snicker into my tanker and say, that is definitely not my intent, nor where I thought this was going.
If you end up in bed with a guy, I am more concerned about where your mental state is right now.
For
you
me,
go serve the god, you come back and sleeping with a guy. Come on.
I lay the blame on Riku. I don't know what happened between him and that orc last night, but apparently he also pissed the orc off, so that... Riku's apparently bothering everybody left and right. He did not make a good impression on anybody, so...
Right. Well, we'll just have to see what we can do about getting this fixed for you and stuff. I mean, I'm sure there's other gods that can make alternate deals that at some point will fix this somehow.
True. And it is something that has been on my mind, seeing as insofar as at the time he did not exactly uphold his end of the bargain. So...
Well, that's Chaos God, sadly. They get your agreement and then... Oops, I forgot!
True.
Okay. Well, I'll carry on eating the pig and just let you stick your muzzle in there.
Sounds fair. I will do exactly that.
Right. We go to the other three, and you all are walking towards a shop. Zaz, you've seen this shop before, though you've never stepped inside of it. You've heard of Dell. You've never actually met them. There is a large sign on the door with very messy handwriting that looks like it was burnt into the wood that says "Those cheap phoenix."
Hey, Zaz, can I ask you something?
Of course.
Does your god do any... Because I know you worship a god. Does your god do anything like Ashes does? Or what's... How... Can you tell me about your god?
I've never really heard of Shar pulling anybody from one plane of existence for deeds and biddings. She's more relaxed. She kind of takes pride in the darkness and the trickery and the playing of jokes and things like that. So far as my dealings with her, there's been nothing wild or ridiculous about any of her requests. Pretty tame, to say the most. A little chaotic, but I think most gods are.
Maybe next time you talk to her, ask her what she thinks about the Beast Lord, because Rakatir had quite the reaction when I mentioned your god's name. I'm kind of worried that there might be a little friction happening there.
If I ever see the Beast Lord again, there will be some friction going on there. But yeah, I'll definitely ask. I haven't really had a chance to sit down and do any real good communicating in the last few days. Probably need to work up on that a little bit. That's about as far as I've gotten with figuring out my god, Reese.
Okay. I think we're kind of talking as we're walking in.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd hold the door open for my compatriots.
As you walk in, you hear a pathetic little bell ding as the door opens. And it doesn't even actually ding like a bell would. It sounds like it's just like hits the metal and that's it. And it just sounds dull. And inside there are shelves completely stocked with just junk, or at least it looks like junk to all of you. And there is a blue demon man behind the counter who has his back arched over a object that he is currently working on. He does not look up when the door opens.
I kind of looked at Zaz because he's usually the talker.
That's fine. Hello, good sir. Sir?
Huh? What? Looks up. Oh, customers. Hi. Yes, what?
We were looking to maybe offload a mechanical item and figured you were definitely the person to come to, being the finest craftsman in the city.
As he looks up, you see that his eyes are huge behind these like Coke bottle glasses almost. And he gets very excited. He's like, yes, bring it here. And then he just shoves what's on his table on the floor and just shoves it off and makes space for whatever item you were going to put on the table.
To Angeli, who's got it in their bag.
He'll bring it out and slump it onto the table. I imagine it's not all the pieces that were there, just the ones we could carry.
He flicks down a couple of lenses so his eyes get even bigger.
Most specifically, the head would be there, though. And any other things that were glowing.
He looks it over, making random, interesting, like just random noises as he's like peeking it apart and like looking at it from different angles, trying not to touch it with his hands. Like he uses random sticks or something to pick it up, or tweezers. And he goes, yes, it is a mechanical object. Yes. Is that what you wanted?
No, we pretty much knew that already, thank you. We were wondering if you might be interested in purchasing it.
Interesting.
You would have any use for some of these more intrinsic parts. We wouldn't really know what to do with them, but we figured somebody of your craftsmanship would be able to make better use of it and kind of give us something for our time and effort.
I think I have the perfect spot for this head. And he goes underneath his counter and picks up a taxidermied squirrel. That is way too small for the head. And he's like, this. I will buy it for this, yes. How much? 1 gold? 2 gold?
I was thinking more like 50 gold. This is great workmanship, and you should see the damage it does. She'll put her leg all the way up onto the counter and roll up the leather armor a little bit and show the gash that's all red, healing.
Yeah, if you put this thing back together, you could have a guard dog of your own,
Interesting. Somebody roll persuasion. Or deception, I don't fucking care.
Deception I can do, but...
I mean, I can roll it as I wave my hand across Angeli's leg and just kind of reinforce how much damage has been done to my friend's leg here. The teeth on that thing alone are razor sharp, and I will try to persuade. Persuasion? That is a 19.
Nice.
He thinks for a moment. Interesting. A guard dog to guard from people trying to break in. A guard squirrel dog. Love it. I will give you 20 gold.
Well, Zaz, you remember that other person that you had mentioned? Maybe they are more inclined. I heard that they were looking for some guard animals too.
It's true. I feel like we should at least go and see exactly what their offer would be.
Yeah, no
It
sense
is
being
such a-
exclusive with such a low offer.
It's true. But it is such a pain to lug this thing around town.
Roll a deception check.
Angeline, roll it? Or...
Yep, you started the talking.
Alrighty.
Absolutely.
18.
30 gold.
Better, but can you imagine how much that other person will be lording over everybody once he shows off his great guard dog with all these snapping teeth?
He just narrows his eyes, and they're very large still because he's still wearing the freaking zoomed in glasses, and he's like,
Could you at least... just a second, and Angeline will go through and pick out some of the things that she wanted for her trap building.
okay.
How about 33 gold and this stuff? It's not doing you much good on the shelf anyways.
Fine.
Daz? Reese? What do you think?
That's a great agreement, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
I don't want to lug this all the way across town if I don't have to.
I agree. Deal.
Next time you come back, there will be a guard squirrel dog.
I look forward to seeing it.
He will give you 33 gold and the parts that you requested that will provide what you need to make a trap.
Thank you.
Del, I wanted to ask you an unrelated question to the guard dog. I could tell already that your craftsmanship already has a magical intuition to it. Would you happen to know any spell or have a item with a spell that could possibly locate an object? I lost something recently, and I've been trying to find it, and I was wondering if magically might be the best way.
I know of a spell. I don't know if I have a scroll of it.
Do you have any scrolls available?
He says, I can look one second, and he'll go through a box that's behind the counter, and there's literally thousands of parchment papers, and he just opens one, closes it, opens one, closes it, opens one, closes it, just repeats the process. He's like, aha, I found it. And he pulls up the one, and he's like, 300 gold.
Can I put that to the side and maybe come back? I so many pockets. But I'm realizing I left some of those funds at home.
Yes.
Angeline's just been looking over some of the other components, and when he said that pricing there, you heard the spring of some kind of spring just skittering across the shop.
He doesn't look perturbed because it seems like that's something that's normal. Yes, 300 gold. It is because of the rarity of it. It's more difficult of a spell, and that's unfortunately the cost, and that's the only one I have. But I will hold it for you for 10 day? A 10 day?
Sure, the name's Reese.
Reese. He spells it completely wrong, and the E is backwards. That
Perfect.
shouldn't exist in there.
Sure, I don't even have an E in my name. I love it.
Yep. He spells it Reese.
Peanut butter chocolate flavor. Perfect.
Yep. All right. Is there anywhere else you wanted to go?
Oh, by the way, nobody's been in here trying to sell a bracelet, have they, lately?
Nobody's been in here for 4 days.
Well, thank you.
He just nods and goes back to studying the thing. You see him trying to put the dog head on the squirrel taxidermy to see if it will fit properly, and he's trying to study it at certain angles. It doesn't look like it's going to work, but he's going to try.
Okay.
That is going to be the most interesting looking beast if he ever gets it built.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure
Perfect.
how it's going to bite anybody.
I look forward to seeing it. Angelique, very well done, by the way.
Well, couldn't have done it
Extremely
without your...
impressive negotiating. I was going to settle for 30, but you did much more than that.
I've been kind of short of funds, so I just thought I would try.
You guys are going to head to the component shop next, correct?
I think I might have gotten everything I need. How about the alchemist shop?
Okay. Before we go there, we go back to the Crusty Crack, and You two have finished off your pig, and you guys are just chatting in the bar, and you finished off your drinks. You've ordered second drinks. No, not a big deal, or technically third drinks now. And Haven, you see out of the corner of your eye something move behind Ash in the far back corner.
Okay, I'll sort of lean to the side a little bit, just like a hand on the chin, just a movement to readjust myself and see if I can get a better look around Ash's shoulder.
You see a woman who is wearing a red corset that leads into a dress, dark black hair, and there is a large crow sitting on her shoulder, and she's extremely pale.
Do I recognize her?
You've seen her once before.
Was I drunk at the time?
Probably. You're usually drunk.
Fairness, I am usually drunk, yes, quite. Ash, darling, just 5 minutes. I swear I will be back. Have my tankard. I will be right back.
Are you okay? If you say that, I am gonna look and follow your gaze to see what you're looking at.
Okay.
And I will, as nonchalantly as possible, which means not very possible at all, stroll over.
Ash, as you look over, you see the same person, but they look older to you. They look like they're wearing like a red cloak, and they look wrinkled and almost like they're in like their 80s, maybe.
Okay. I'm a little perplexed, so I'm definitely gonna just watch whatever is happening.
So you walk over.
Politely ask if I can buy her a drink. Say, it's been a while since I've seen you. Would you like a drink?
No, I'm good. I came because I heard your story. You said that you didn't see anybody on the battlefield, but you weren't alone.
You overheard that?
Yeah, I hear everything.
Some very good ears you have for a seeming mortal.
You still think I'm mortal? That's cute.
Well, I don't know. There was several days that we were in the hotel room. I'm not sure many mortals could last that long.
Nope. You only did because I provided power to you.
Oh, fuck.
How's that working out for you, by the way? You've been using it recently.
Using what?
Your powers.
What powers?
What is one of your cantrips that you have?
Rainbow Bridge.
She cast Rainbow Bridge.
Oh, I can do that one too.
Yeah, that's because I gave it to you.
How?
We made a deal. Don't you remember?
Bear with me here. It was a really long 4 days. There was a lot of sexual activities. I am a very involved concubus. Not all the words may have stuck in my head. I know, drunk. I remember the events, and honestly, it was amazing. But the specifics of particular wordings, no.
The specifics of the particular wordings were, I vow to... how did I word it? I vow to make a pact with you in exchange for power and safety in the future. It was after day 3, though, so you might have been exhausted and forgetful. But you said it, and that's all I needed.
Right, quite. And what does this mean?
It means that you are working for me, and I am your patron.
Right. If I wanted power and safety, why are all my family dead?
Your found family is alive. I held up my part of the bargain.
I'll pause and literally go completely still, but my eyes will flicker in the direction of Ash.
Yes.
So I had to lose one to save the other.
This one was more important for your future. I can see all.
Thank you for saving her.
Of course. We made a pact. I protect you. You do whatever I bid.
Do you have any particular biddings? Or, I'm more of a punchy, romancy person. Eros would be most aggrieved were I not to continue worshipping the feminine form. Is there going to be any conflict going on there?
No. I have no qualms with Eros.
Wonderful, wonderful. Quite. You're looking stunning as always. If you would like another couple of days, just let me order a room at some point.
No, I just thought it was time that you should know the truth. Since it's been
quite
2 months now and you haven't picked up on it on your own.
There's been a lot going on, honestly. Life is very, very busy. Did you know that my good friend over there recently got kidnapped by another god? It was awfully terrible.
Kidnapped is a strong word when a deal is struck.
Quite. Yes. Deals. Those things, pesky little... wonderful little things. Quite. Yes. You're looking stunning.
I know. Whenever you see a crow, I'm watching. Just so you're aware.
The place is filled with crows. It's literally like a crow town here.
Then I'm always watching.
Is that a good thing?
I don't know. It's up to you and how you behave.
If I asked the crow to get you so that we could go have another 3 nights at any point, would that work?
I don't know. I have plenty of others to occupy my time.
Oh, charming. Well, you are... What are you?
A goddess.
Is that rude to ask? I'm so sorry.
I am a goddess. I am your patron.
Quite. Right. Yes. Sleeping with a goddess. My apologies for my crass and rude behaviour. I will be far more polite in the future. It is a pleasure to have met you, honoured one.
I liked you better before you knew that I was a goddess. And she turns away and disappears.
Nice ass.
I know, you hear. Ash, you hear Haven just scream nice ass at the old lady as she vanishes in the shadows.
I'll be sitting back at the table, looking very confused. Oh
I'll
man.
go back and just sit down and nothing. I'm just going to sit down and start eating.
I'm just gonna stare at you with the most bewildered expression on my face that you have ever possibly seen.
Process time. I need process time.
Right. I'll wait to ask until you're ready, but I am going to ask because what the fuck?
What? She was gorgeous.
Seems a little old for your taste.
I didn't think 25 or 30 was particularly old, but okay. Sure.
You looked easily 70.
We saw different things. I saw someone who was perhaps 3 times that age.
Oh.
Almost.
No, I saw a very voluptuous quarter of a century, third of a century, around there somewhere, woman in extremely lush clothes and ravens.
Alright, well, either you're hallucinating or something else is going on. What?
Process time. Process time.
Right.
I will
Sorry.
come back to you.
There. I will hand you back the tankard that you handed me when you walked
I'm
over.
gonna fucking down that shit.
You see a crow in the window, and then we go back to the other group as you walk towards the herbalist. Is that what it was?
Yes, we're alchemist.
Alchemist.
You two don't know anything about herbs and stuff, do you? Or concoctions? I'm looking for something really sticky.
I do know a little, but I think that it would also be good to speak with them about the health potion ingredients that we have and seeing if possibly they can make us some, even if that will take us some time. But they could have something.
That's kind of what I was hoping for. Do you guys know of a good one?
Can I see if I know any specific good one around town?
Roll a history or investigation.
That is a 9.
You know that there is one, but you can't remember the name for the life of you.
I know there's one, I think in an area around the town. I can't remember off the top of my head.
We can just ask when we get closer.
Yeah. See if I recognize anything.
I don't think that's something that Zaz would have ever even thought to look out for, so probably not even a roll to bank on that. But as we're wandering through the town and trying to find this alchemist, I do want to be keeping my eyes out, like, just street level for that bracelet that we've been looking for.
Also, that vegetable stand?
Okay. Make perception checks.
That's an 11.
8 for Angeli.
12.
You don't see the bracelet, but you do see the vegetable stand, or a vegetable stand at least. I believe I said there were 2 hobgoblins running it?
Yeah.
So you find the vegetable stand with the 2 hobgoblins.
Reese, you could do tricks, sounds, and such. Can you do images?
I can actually, yeah. Why? What are you thinking?
Well, maybe if you show them a picture of Zahir, we could ask if they've seen this person and then maybe ask them about the bracelet.
Yeah, sure. I will go up to the counter and... hey guys, I have a friend of mine who is, they happen to lose a piece of jewelry around here, and this is them, and this is what it looks like, and I'm going to cast Minor Illusion, and do a little almost like hologram kind of picture of Zahiri's face, and I guess like a little bit of a artist's rendition of what I think that the bracelet looks like, kind of described to me. And this is what they were looking for, and they were around this area. I don't know if you guys happen to hear anything, have you? Or seen anything?
Vec, have you seen anything? No, Drug. I haven't seen anything. I've seen that person. That person was here. Yes, they ordered vegetables, but bracelet, no. They weren't wearing it when they got here. I would have noticed it's shiny. Drog loves shiny things.
Can I read them and see if they're possibly lying?
Sure.
16.
They're telling the truth. They don't look
Okay.
like they're very good at lying.
All right, so she didn't have it when she got here, or maybe Maybe we could just ask around. Maybe she lost it as soon as she got here.
Maybe.
And she did say that here was the first place that she went, right? Could we just trace steps back to her shop, or?
Yeah, and I think Reese is just looking around, looking at the ground, looking at any people around, seeing if he sees anything possibly with the bracelet, or yeah, I guess really just the bracelet, seeing, or if anybody looks suspicious.
Roll a perception check.
We had that picture that we drew and we were showing Jewel of the bracelet as well. So Angeli would like to ask around some of the other shop people here if they've seen this. She's kind of also checking to see if they react.
Okay.
I rolled an 8.
You do not see anything. Angeli, you are showing around the picture, and there is a woman who's like, yeah, that belongs to Zahir, doesn't it?
She said she might have dropped it somewhere here or just before she got here. We're trying to find it for her.
There are thieves everywhere, so maybe somebody took it. She glances around. I don't see any now, but they're usually pretty sneaky.
Well, kind of part and parcel, I guess. Thank you. Angeli will look around to see if she can pick up any signs of thieves' cant symbols or symbology anywhere.
Okay, make a perception check.
Ooh, 22.
All right. You do see some thieves' cant symbols, but you also see something that's even better. You see a kobold and a kenku who are currently behind a young woman, and they're cutting off the purse of her that's on her hip.
Any chance I can sneak up and prize them before they complete their action? Or are they too far away?
We'll say that they're 15 feet away, so you can try. Make a stealth check.
That would be a 8.
Okay. They rolled a 3 and a 7, so you sneak up behind them.
They're very focused.
Yes, very focused.
Excuse me, I'd like to ask you a question.
The kenku squawks in shock, and the lady reels around, and she's like, what the fuck? And she grabs her purse and runs away, and the kobold's like, what the hell are you why would you interrupt us? That's rude. We almost had it.
No, I think she would have noticed you were, and Angeli will attempt to point out what they were about to do wrong. She was about to take a step forward, and that little cut that you were about to do would have been felt. So this way she just thinks you bumped into her. I have a question. I'm looking for a particular item, and you gentlemen might indeed be the ones that have come across it.
They look at you suspiciously.
I will sign something back in Thieves' Cant and ask them that I don't mean to step on their toes, and I will be leaving the area immediately, but I am looking for a bracelet of a very unique nature.
Roll an insight check really quick.
17.
They don't say anything at first, but you see the kenku's eyes get wide and shimmer, almost like that greed look, and then joy, because it was they did something and they succeeded and they were so proud of it. And then they're like, yes, brace. And then they get elbowed in the side by the kobold. We don't know what you're talking about.
I believe your friend does.
The kenku is rubbing his side. Ow. The kobold sighs, fine. We may or may not have taken a bracelet, but we don't have it anymore.
Who would?
The boss.
I never heard it from you, but where may I find this boss?
Well, I don't know. I gave it to my boss, and they gave it to somebody else who gave it to the person. I don't think it was the boss. I think it was a client that wanted it. I don't know. I'm not told things. I just steal things.
There's a gold in it if you can give me a useful tidbit of information.
They look at the gold, tempted. Roll me a sleight of hand.
That would be a dirty 20.
As you are handing them the gold, a incubus steps out from a corner and clears his throat, looking at the two. We weren't about to betray our trust now, were we? The incubus says from the corner. And the kenku startles and hides behind the kobold. No. We didn't do anything.
No. Your friends were I was just entertaining them with this sleight of hand trick. And she's rolling the gold across her knuckles.
Do a deception check.
All my good rolls are getting out now. 19.
He believes you, it seems. Interesting. He says something in Thieves' Cant, not realizing that you understand Thieves' Cant, but basically he says, get back to the place. We'll talk about this later. And the two start to scurry off, or look like they're about to scurry off.
I'm going to just kind of look around as if I'm kind of scanning the general sort of place, but I want to see where my companions are.
Reese and Zaz are about 20 feet behind you.
Are they paying attention at all?
Are you guys paying attention?
I'm definitely paying attention.
Yeah, I would, at this point, have been looking around for where Angeli was. Because we've been searching for a minute and didn't find anything.
If I can give some kind of indication, I will just kind of nod parting individuals, but trying to be very slight about it. That will likely be very difficult, but
Try sleight of hand again.
I'll kind of just like cock my head like I'm listening to
Oh.
them, but I cock it towards the individuals leaving.
Gotcha.
You want me to make the sleight of hand or deception?
Are you trying to signal to Reese and Zaz to follow them?
Yes.
Reese and Zaz make insight checks.
Okay.
13.
That is a 10.
With a 13, Reese, you do pick up on it.
I kind of tap Zaz and then give like a little head motion and as if to follow, and I'll start following those two.
I will refocus on the incubus you said.
Mhm.
Having cocked my head, giving them a little bit of a look. Perhaps you can help me. I'm looking for a bracelet that was dropped in the area.
Interesting. I haven't seen it.
Well, it has some sentimental value for the individual, so
Shame.
yeah, there is. But there might be a reward for getting it back.
Roll a deception check.
So much luck pushing. Aha, there it went. 12.
A reward for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, I could always cut whoever helps in.
Hmm. And then risk me getting in trouble. That's not worth it for me.
Okie dokie. Well, I've got this gold out. It already seems to be a shame to put it back into my money belt. But if I was to be looking for something like that to purchase for a friend of mine, would you have any recommended names?
I highly doubt the person that it was given to or sold to would be willing to trade it, considering how much they paid for it.
Strange for something like that that's so unique that it can't really generally be sold. Must be quite the collector.
She really wanted it.
Well, thank you for the time, and I will flip them the gold anyways.
He catches it and then walks it back into the chateaus. Reese and Zaz, you are following the kobold and Kenku who are rushing off. They turn down a alleyway.
I assume with all the concubus, incubus, and etc. in this city that flying is not really something that's frowned upon, if that makes sense.
Flying is fine. Uranus
Oh.
and concubus.
Uranus and
Fine.
concubus is, yep.
And demons and some devils.
I would actually probably take off to the sky a little bit and kind of be flying over this alleyway.
Okay. You see them running down the alleyway below, heading towards a cellar door.
I mean, I'll definitely point Reese in that direction and fly over them.
Yeah, I'm definitely keeping a distance, trying not to be noticed that I'm following them.
Yeah, that's why I kind of went to the skies. I can
Mhm.
watch from further away.
I'm not going to have you roll a stealth check because they're kind of panicked right now, and they're trying to lift the cellar door. It's taking them a moment to lift it because they're both small.
Okay.
Can you do anything to stop them?
No,
I'm not going to do anything to stop him. I think I kind of want to let him open it up so we can figure out what's in there.
Yeah, I'm too hesitant. I think he'll let them go.
All right, the door opens, and you can't really see further than like 20 feet in, and it goes down to a stairs, and there's some barrels inside. The assumption is either that's a cellar to the building that's there, or there might be something more to it, but you wouldn't know beyond that.
Fly down toward Reese, kind of regroup. Oh, they're in there. I don't think they'd be going out a different way. I can fly over the building and see if they come out the other side, but...
Did they leave the cellar doors open, or did they close it behind them?
They would have closed it behind them.
Okay.
After Angeli is done talking with the individual, she'll head out of the square, but then take to the air and head the direction that her companions went.
Okay. Eventually, you find Reese and Zaz in the alleyway talking. You recognize the alleyway because the cellar door is the entrance to the Thieves Guild. You don't know why you remember that, though.
Oh, so you did manage to follow them? I assume
Yeah.
they went in there.
They went in there.
Yeah.
We didn't want to follow without you.
Probably a wise choice. You know how we were discussing about remembering things? I just have this fleeting feeling that there's a lot more to that cellar. We don't necessarily want to be traipsing in there, I guess, without maybe the others. If at all, I don't know.
No,
That
I
could
agree.
be
I'm
tipping
getting.
off. That could be tipping off a big deal.
No, I agree. I'm getting a bad vibe from this. I think we should try to get everybody with us together before we go in.
I did get a little bit more information too, so this won't
Mhm.
be as easy as we hoped, I don't think.
I hate it when that happens. Where did they off to? It was some crusty place.
Yeah, some crusty place. I remember. I think I remember being there. I don't like that place, but all right. Yeah, let's go grab them.
And we would go off to the Krusty Crack Tavern.
Before you enter, as they're heading over there, what are Haven and Ash talking about?
I'm just waiting for Haven to regain their composure, if that's going to happen. So
I will start doing the thing where, you know, when you don't fully understand something but you're trying to talk it through with someone. I will start doing that with Ash and say, so in the week leading up to that day when everything went sideways and everyone died, I knew that I was being deployed. I knew it was coming. I knew what day, we get our orders and that's that. So I wanted to have a bit of fun, and I met this stunningly gorgeous woman at the bar and didn't think twice of it. We spent a glorious 5 days locked in a bedroom together with food being delivered on occasion.
I like how it gets longer and longer every time you say it. It was 3, 4, and now 5.
I don't know. Haven was wrecked. She has no fucking clue. She's just fucking talking at this point. We should probably agree on a consensus though before it makes it to 10.
I think it's hilarious because it's eventually going to be like 25 days in bed with this goddess.
Yep, I spent a solid month in bed with a goddess, absolutely. So it was 5 days at this point anyway. And, things happen, loudness occurs, you scream names, and sometimes they answer. And
oh boy.
Yeah, so turns out she's a goddess, and I wanted the people that I loved to be safe. And the next day, or 5 days later, everybody was dead. So I thought nothing of it. But she just said it wasn't those that were the ones that, were the important people to save.
Gods and their deals. Also, you slept with a goddess for 5 days.
Right?
I'll just give you a little toast with my flag and say respect.
Chink my tankard to yours. And then down the rest of it, whatever's there. Yeah, she mentioned a few random things about found family and stuff. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And what
sort of
exactly did she do to you in exchange? Aside from the 5 days and all that.
Oh, she did many things to me in those 5 days. many things. Wasn't much that she didn't do, honestly.
Yes, fair. But aside from that, you did mention that. So did you make a deal with her?
Yeah, apparently she's my patron now, and I asked for the people that I love to be saved, and instead of saving the people that I love now, she saved the ones that I would love. So she's saying that you got to walk off that battlefield because we spent 5 days in bed together.
I'm gonna just take a minute to kind of process this. Now it's my turn to sort of look down and just kind of process.
Like
my ears will kind of be doing occasional little flicks as I'm just sort of looking down, thinking very intently.
Take some processing, doesn't it?
To say the least. See, I still can't get over the fact that you spent 5 days in bed with the goddess. That's definitely something.
Apparently she had to supplement me with power so that I wouldn't, snuff it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing they can do. Mm-hmm.
It does make me wonder, though, speaking about that and the nature of deals and whatnot. And as I'm saying this, I'm going to start absentmindedly just turning that little holy symbol of Malar in my hand as we're talking.
Well, maybe it's a question you can ask one of his lessers next time you're there. Hopefully he won't take you again for a very long time, but if he does, then maybe someone, if there's anyone else that would know. So you don't have to approach a god.
Yes, that would be preferable. Part of me wonders if I might already know the answer, and if it might be kind of similar to what yours was. And I'll kind of just look up to where the goddess was standing previously, as I'm just kind of turning this over in my hand.
Well, there's every possibility that it's someone from, if it is the same situation, you haven't met them yet. It could be someone that's not even born yet. It could be someone who's on a completely different continent. The nature of gods, we don't know.
I'll have to ask.
But
that was something.
That yes, quite. Yes, quite. Yes. I'm going to completely change the subject because I still need more processing time, and we'll talk about that later at a different point. Whatever. You in a guy's bedroom. Seriously, we need to come back to this. Do you need tips? I mean, I'm gonna scoosh around the table.
You are fully aware that Riku is responsible for my predicament, not myself. I did not get myself into that situation. I was picking up the dregs of a situation that he apparently left very badly. And
just in case, you were also floundering with Vadrin a little bit. I noticed it. I'm not judging. I'm just saying maybe you need some tips. So I'm going to scoosh around the table. You say, right, turn and face me. Come on.
I'm going to, my ears are back and I let out this, snort noise, but I will turn.
Oh, right. So next time you see Vadrin, we're going to get back to the Thirsty Fall at some point, or hopefully meet her somewhere else. But wherever it is, you just kind of slide on up to her. And you put one hand just beneath her shoulder, on above her heart, because connections makes her feel like you're meaning something a bit more. And then on top of that, you put your other hand at base of her jaw with your fingers behind her ears, so you can scratch the hair and stroke your thumb across her face. And then you say that you're really sorry that you had to bail on your date the other night. And is there any way that you can possibly make it up to her?
I'll just kind of slow blink and say, You think it'll work?
Fairly sure.
Right.
Quite.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll try.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, if you're not sure, the hand that's here, you can rub your thumb, you can just gently move your fingers, just small tactile touches.
Okay. I'll try and remember. I might ask you for tips before. But yeah, I'll try. Thanks.
No worries, it's no worries. At this point, everyone walks into the tavern.
Yeah.
Hey, there they are!
Well, apparently we didn't need to hurry. They were having a great time.
Should we leave? No. Maybe.
I'll just say, there's not quite enough seats. I'll sit on Ash's lap instead, don't worry.
Just gonna... Oh, man.
Some bad news. We might have found where that bracelet went off to.
Okay.
So you might get your date after all. Bad news. Everybody's got really bad feelings about this cellar that we found.
Okay.
And there were some shady people and some thieves and...
Yeah.
I know y'all have
Also good news, though, we managed to sell the mecha dog.
That's amazing.
However we want to split that up, we can.
Also,
Right.
be on the lookout for a mecha dog squirrel coming soon.
I'm sorry, a what?
Mecha
sure.
dog squirrel.
You
The
said
guy we
squirrel. Where's the squirrel? You said squirrel. Squirrel? Squirrel?
Not here, Ash. No squirrels here.
No squirrels here. No squirrels here.
But Zaz said squirrel. I'm
The
confused.
guy we sold it to was planning to put the dog's head on a taxidermied squirrel?
That sounds horrifying.
He said he was going to make the whole thing move and work and have a guard squirrel. And we upsold him on the price. Angeli was amazing. But anyway,
Oh, thank you.
we have that. I know you guys don't mind getting your hands dirty. Figure we come and get you so you wouldn't miss any of the fun, but we're probably going to end up breaking into a thieves guild.
Amazing.
Yeah, it would be apparently the how to put this. I'm not sure whether the bracelet was accidentally taken or purposely targeted, but somebody was looking for it. It sounds like maybe a collector.
Yeah.
I had an opportunity to try and offer someone to split the reward just to see what they would say, and they said there was no likelihood that the person who bought it would sell it because they paid so much money for it. So this could
We have to steal it back.
Yeah.
Or kill everyone.
We did
We can
follow
do it.
two thieves to their perhaps an entrance to the Thieves Guild. I'm not quite sure how I know that, but that's kind of the feeling I think all of us got. Look around at everyone.
Yeah, although you seemed to kind of recognize it as that before anybody. I mean, it could have just been a hideout, but you were able to know it as the Thieves Guild.
I've been able to pick up some of the little markings and stuff as well, so apparently that's something I know.
Huh.
Maybe some stuff's finally coming back for you.
I hope so. Regardless, though, if it is an entrance into the thieves of this city and where they do their business, I mean, the little ones, was a Kenku and a kobold we were following, they said they got it for their they gave it to their bosses, who gave it to their bosses. So there might be a number of these that we'd have to go through?
Yeah, I'm worried this goes for a chain or a hierarchy, and I don't want to get in too deep where we're going to have to go all the way up the hierarchy to then have to go all the way down, and then next thing you know, because we're so powerful, we've killed an entire thieves guild. Do you think it might be easier to try to see if we can kind of magically locate the object and just steal it directly from that client instead of trying to go through the thieves guild? Or
That would be the most preferable option. It would save us either thieving from or killing a hell of a lot of people.
Unless you people from the city know perhaps some of the collectors or have contacts that might lead to some of the collectors. I mean, whoever it was sounded like they had money. We already know it's a very unique item with Gond as its central piece, so...
It's weird. Like a client, but for something that was more of like a personal memento.
Yeah, that was odd.
Maybe we should also talk to Zahir again.
Yeah, maybe see if she knows anything.
Perhaps it was an item passed down in her family or something?
Why would someone want an heirloom?
Some heirlooms could be powerful.
I guess we could always ask her.
I mean, she didn't seem like it was that powerful, but important to her, unless she's playing us. Kind of look at Haven for that one.
Sorry, I was too distracted by assets to be able to judge properly. Can I roll some kind of check to see if I wasn't drunk enough, or distracted enough, or generally horny enough to have noticed if she was lying to me?
Inside at disadvantage.
Triple disadvantage for that.
I was about to say good luck with that one.
7.
No, you were way too all of those things.
Absolutely genuine. Definitely 100% genuine. She was so genuine that it was impossible to even consider the option that she wasn't.
Well, regardless, we should probably talk to her again.
I'm going to do a little minor illusion of just what the 3 individuals looked like that we've seen so far, the Kobold, the Kenku, and the shadowy figure. Yeah, just keep an eye out for these 3, because we know that they're at least part of what's going on. And these 2 answer to this one, but seems to go much higher than that.
Good knowledge. Thank you for sharing. There's very good artwork. I appreciate it.
Oh, thanks. Kind of moves away the illusion. Kind of working.
Well done. It's very well done.
That is such a handy spell.
Just smiles, like I did a good job.
So we should divide up that money then.
Alright, so now, how do we, kind of just gesturing to the group, how do we want to do this? And even moving forward, do we want everything we split between everybody, or do we want to if it doesn't divide equally, we have like the group rainy day fund in case we need something, or then if we need something for the group, we pull from the fund?
I mean, it could work. If it splits evenly, then great. If it doesn't, we could throw it into a group thing until it does split evenly, or until we need something.
Rainy day fund's always a good idea.
We got, 33 for the dog.
I think everything else is split evenly, so 33 would be the first thing that doesn't, so that'd be 6 gold apiece and then 3 into a rainy day fund.
Sure. 3 gold for the 3 gold for the meat and booze bag.
If I was to have that in silver instead, that would be 30 silver, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
What, the 6 gold would be 60 silver.
Of course it would. Sorry, yes.
It's
60
gold.
gold. Thank you.
And silver is 1 gold. So.
Consider it metric.
So that is 60 silver. Thanks. I appreciate you going and doing that. I really needed some, I would say personal time with Ash, but that makes it sound wrong. I needed some alone, some quiet. Fuck.
Hey, you guys do what you doing. It's all good.
Yeah, whether it's grooming or whatever,
Oh shit. We should also talk to the guy with the fang, since we're talking about money.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, please.
Yes, quite.
They might be
Get all
kind
the
of
funds in
annoyed
order.
having heard that we left and never came back to them.
It's been a day.
And we were technically told by a superior of the Fangs to go and rest at a proper tavern, so...
Technically, we were following order.
Precisely.
I do need
They're
to get
superiors.
something to eat, though, and I'm not eating in this place.
Why? They have some lovely pig. Actually, speaking of, I kind of forgot that I have all these, and I'll whip out all the pasties from various different pockets and places that don't seem to actually exist on my outfit, but they're there. And there's like out of the side. Here is a sausage roll, and here is a meat pasty, and here is a vegetable pasty. Here's a curried pasty. Here is a raw pasty, and I'll just pass it to Ash.
I'll take the curry.
I will take that and I will snicker into the back of my hand as I watch you procure various food items from just random pockets on your clothes.
And again, it's not from here, right?
No, it's not from here. Reese can attest to this. I purchased them earlier just before Ash returned to us.
Yeah, we got them at Sweet Sensations. It was nice.
Oh, I love that place.
Yes, Dunk is a lovely goblin. They're really quite talented at what they do, and they do love dunking.
That's the place with the sign that says that they're not responsible for if anybody gets sick eating their food, right?
Yes, if you crunching anything, just keep crunching. It's part of the flavor.
All the best food places say that. Like,
absolutely.
It's just common practice in this town.
I'll take your word for it.
I mean, would you honestly trust a place that didn't threaten your life?
Yes.
Haven sort of recoils a bit of that, and is like, with an expression of the fuck?
She doesn't even notice. She's enjoying her curry pasty.
Okay.
So off to the fangs then.
Indeed.
While we're eating, we're at a table, right?
Yes, this is a table.
Clear a little space off. The stuff I got at, I don't know what you'd call them, junk collectors?
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm trying to put together a trap, and I'm wondering, because Haven had mentioned when we were in the tower, they were worried about us being attacked from behind when we go down one way and leave another way unguarded. So I thought maybe I could make a trap that would bring and make a bunch of noise, perhaps hurting them, but more the noise indication, so we would be alerted. And I was wondering if you can use your spell that you've been using to hide it, like to disguise it.
I think we can definitely do that. I could place a sort of illusion over it so that it's not as easily seen. I mean, the illusions that I have, they last for about an hour at most. But, I mean, it would be something that would at least give us, some comfort for a bit.
The stuff I've bought here should be somewhat disguisable, but in those very peculiar corridors, any disguising we could do might actually help as well. So, and I don't think we were down anywhere longer than an hour.
Yeah.
Anyways, we could workshop it.
Yeah, and if you need any help putting that together, you let me know.
Definitely. Thank you.
You guys want to see a trick?
Always.
Sure.
Definitely.
Trying to now be a little more confident. Zaz, what is a favorite food of yours?
I always like a good papaya. It's hard to get them around here, but when you can get them, they're the best.
I'm going to cast Minor Trick to flavor the pasty that Zaz is eating to taste like papaya.
Oh, wow. That is a good trick. Does anybody else want some? It tastes exactly like papaya.
I have no idea what that tastes like, but can you make mine spicier?
Sure. And boom, it is now much spicier.
Ooh, this is almost right.
I'm not going to make any requests. I'm just going to smirk and carry on eating, because nothing I could request would be remotely clean or possible to say in public.
Yeah, this is how I've been getting away with eating a lot of the stuff that they give at a lot of the taverns. I don't think a lot of seasoning is used around these parts. But yeah.
The seasoning is the crunchy bits.
Found a toenail the other day.
Yeah, it just kind of helps everything go down easier. So if you need that, you let me know.
Julie just glares over hers at Haven at that. What's the big
toenails add a really cheesy quality. Honestly, it really makes some of the pasties.
She puts it down. She's done.
Yeah, I'm done.
If you're done, and I'll pick all of them up and carry on eating.
I was about to say, I'll finish mine. Tastes like papaya.
Honestly, the toenails are the best part. If you actually get a whole toe, that's even better.
Shakes her head.
So you all leave the tavern and go back to the Fang's quarters, where What's-His-Butt is.
Bye, Bobsy.
See you, Bobsy. It's been a pleasure. I love you so much.
Bye, Bobsy.
Your food is awesome as always, Bobsy. Thank you for letting us slaughter the pig.
He just growls because you keep calling him Bobsy. As you leave, you go back to the Fang quarter and you see not the drow this time, but you find a lizard folk sitting at the desk when you enter.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going. Can I help you?
May I inquire as to your name?
You may. It is Yit.
Y-I-T?
Yep.
Thank you. I am Haven. My compatriots and I have been employed to enter the tower and see what we can find, and we were commanded to return for a night's rest last night and are thus far now producing you with the information that we have gathered.
She narrows her eyes at you for a second, confused almost. She's like, you entered the tower.
Quite. There's a contract in that drawer just there.
And you returned from
Quite.
said tower.
Yes.
Pull out the waiver and show it.
General Askew.
We're back from our suicide mission.
It wasn't a suicide mission because we didn't commit suicide and we are alive. And General Askew was most lovely and took our map from us last night, which we provided so that during the shift change, someone could bring it here ahead of us.
She just nods her head very slowly as she's comprehending what you're saying. And she goes into the drawer and picks up a white stone and speaks into it. General, can you come out here, please? And you hear a voice on the other end saying, this better be important. It's like, we got live ones from the tower. And then you hear a clatter in the office next to you guys, and the door opens, and out pops a orc in a very pristine uniform. It looks clean, but it's clean for like what you guys would expect. So it's still dirty in anybody else's comparison, but it's well pressed at least. The lizard folk stands up and says, "This is Grak the Vivid, our general."
I'm sorry, say that name again?
Grak
Thanks.
the Vivid. And he is standing at like not almost 8-9 feet tall, and he's like leaning over all of you, and it's extremely muscular. He like looks down and goes, "You went in the tower and survived."
Correct.
Nodding. Mm-hmm.
There is a contract in that drawer for Ash, Reese, Haven, Angelique, and Zaz. You will find our details there. Here is our writ of entry. Here is this, and there is the map that we have produced thus far.
He looks them over. It takes him like 5 minutes to like look at everything and make sure it's legitimate. He goes, "Where's that letter?" And the lizard folk runs over, grabs something, and hands it to him. Huh. Interesting. Well, this is a first, so honestly, did not expect this. I was not prepared for this. I assumed you would all be dead by now. No offense. Well, all the offense, I guess. But now that you're here, I see that you told General Askew what you found, at least a little. Is there anything you would like to elaborate on?
Fill him in on everything.
Interesting. So, the tower seems alive. There's a portal, which is not good, and the rooms shift or change.
Correct.
Would explain why many of the people have gone missing or died. Well, I think with this information, you did successfully provide some knowledge, and he will hand you, add a character, what did I say?
200 gold each per person. Well, that is each, but 200 per person.
I will give you 100 gold each. You'll get the other 100 gold once you finish exploring the floor. This was a lot of information, and I am thankful for it. Here, and he reaches into a drawer and he pulls out 5 potions, and he's like, "Since you actually stand a chance, here are 5 potions for you."
Thank you. I'll take them and pass one to each person. What level?
Regular.
Okay, thanks.
We don't usually hand them out to the people we send because thus far they've all died and we can't retrieve them. It's a waste of resources, honestly. But if you've proven that you can come back, then you can do it again, I hope.
Question. You said we'll get another 100 if we complete the floor. Now, if the floor turns out to be 17 times larger than the portion that we've already explored, that doesn't seem very fair. Would we not perhaps get 100 for this level of information each time?
I'll consider it.
Perfect. That's all
Depends on how much information is brought.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions?
No, I got nothing.
Happily, I have my extra 100 gold, though.
Very
I'm
happy
surprised
with
they
the
were
charge.
that forthcoming, but
Yes,
no,
we're
I'm
still right in
quite
front
happy.
of us.
Yes,
Okay.
I know.
Fair enough. Just checking.
Alright, so you guys are done talking to the orc general?
Looks like.
Yeah, I think so.
Alright, you head out of the office. You hear over here, he's like, "I'll be damned. I survived." That's where we're going to end tonight's episode. Into the unknown.
Oh, violence does call me, I've answered before. I've made many enemies and settled my scores. But came a cry from a man that I'd known, someone to whom rare compassion I'd shown, and so